Going live now. Let's see here. So, as the broadcast is going up, loading in here to just kind of pick up where we left off earlier with 5.3. Shadow Dash in here. Yeah. To kind of recap where we left off on, we are on one of the last quests for 5.3 main scenario quest, Hope's Confluence. I'm not going to accept it just yet. We now have Elidibus sealed away inside of the Crystal Tower, summoning whatever he feels like, and we have... Can I look up higher the first person? We have that endless, massive star shower going on. It's, something, by all means. There's quite the frame rate drop if I look over at this crowd. Oh my goodness. So, yeah. Let's get to it. It's funny, I went and did the first stream after I woke up at 5 a.m. and I started streaming. I want to say around 5:20, 5:30, maybe 5:40 at the latest. I can't remember. It was something like that. It was super, super early. Well, I fell asleep a little while ago, and I just woke up again. So, bookends, I guess. It's gotta be while I'm still in that kind of wake up haze that I stream anymore. And so that's nice bookends there. Love the Crystal Tower. It's bookends. It's my new favorite term. This is a point of no return if there was any. Oh man. This is like an intro to a dungeon. Yet... Man. Oh, that Crystal Tower music.
Not here either. We must keep climbing.
I've started playing Final Fantasy III recently. I picked up the Android version on sale since apparently it's pretty good. And it's given me new appreciation for the Crystal Tower music. A lot of great homages there. Oh! Oh man.
Twas but a matter of time. I cannot keep up with you, nor will it avail us to make a stand here. You must go on without me. Find Elidibus and stop him.
I don't like this option.
Worry not, my friend. Though I am no warrior, I have learned to hold my own over the years.
I'm not sure you're really able to right now, with the whole collapsing on the ground thing.
When first we explored this tower, you and your fellow adventurers formed the van, while I was left to follow in your wake. Suffice it to say, I was not best pleased with the arrangement. How I wished that I could join you. And now I have, here where it all began. I was right to trust in you, and the power of your legacy, of your name, to let them guide my every deed.
For Elidibus is my name, and my mission, guiding my every deed.
Man.
Why you? Why not you? Had I chosen another, we would never have made it this far. Or do I mistake your meaning? Elidibus spoke in similar terms, you say? How curious. To answer your question, then, I made my choice for reasons which seemed obvious to me, but may not to any other. There were the expectations I placed upon myself before beginning my slumber, and the expectations of those who roused me. Of course, I had the choice to turn my back on a lot of it, but in the end, it was no choice at all. I cherish the time I spent with you and the others. What I wouldn't give to return to those halcyon days. Chasing ancient secrets, overcoming trial after trial with the aid of like-minded comrades. And what remarkable comrades they were. In such company, I felt as if I were a character in the epic tales that had stirred my heart as a boy, as if my dream had come true. It hadn't, of course, for I was no hero, neither then nor after. Though the world to which I awakened and the first were beset with myriad problems, I rarely knew how best to play my part. There was, however, one thing of which I was certain, that I could not bear to let those dear to me meet a tragic end.
Oh boy.
I'm afraid our time is up. Go!
Oh man.
Rest assured, you haven't seen the last of me. I wouldn't dream of playing my trump card save in your presence.
I really want to know what he's talking about. So there goes the main theme again. Phew. There really can't be much left, I don't think. I really do think all that remains is probably one last trial. I don't think there's much more left, even.
Memories of a possible future. Worthless, all. Worthless as memories of the only past. Fated to fray and fade into oblivion. Leaving naught but a gaping void. The Waking Sands. Yes, that was the place.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
The place I first made myself known to you and yours. The seventh rejoining had left the realm listing dangerously towards darkness, and events were unfolding that threatened to push it over the brink. Thus did I approach you in my capacity as emissary, thinking that you would make a useful pawn. But I was wrong. And for my misstep did La Habrea and Emet-Selch pay the ultimate price, leaving me the last of the Unsundered. My remaining brethren, fragmented as they are, cannot hope to see our mission to its end. It falls to me alone. Defeat is not an option. I will strike you down. I will resurrect Lord Zodiark, and I will bring back those who sacrifice themselves to call him forth. Though it take 1,000 years, upon my honor as Elidibus, emissary of the Convocation of 14, I will see this done.
Now where could this be going? This... Oh! Options, okay. Those who once relied upon you are no more, or however hard your struggle you'll never bring back the Convocation. Alright, let's try to reason with him. Let's try to reason with him. I feel like this will be unsuccessful.
I have my mission.
Yeah, I figured.
I am Elidibus, and it is my duty to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. This I swore to someone. We spoke, and I swore. What? What did I...
Interesting. I gotta say the acting in this expansion is top-notch.
This pain, this torment, is nothing. No more than must be suffered to deliver the world from its doom. No more than any of you malformed creatures have known. Even should you lose all that is dear to you, even should it cost you your life, you bear the burden and fight on, kicking and screaming until your last breath is spent!
Aye, it's true. We've lost
Voice
much,
from within, huh?
known unimaginable suffering. But through it all, we never, ever forgot what was dear to us. And that's what gave us the strength to carry on.
Yeah!
No. It will not end here.
Bring in as many as you want. Do whatever you feel like, buddy.
From beyond the rift, heed my call. The time is come to deliver your brethren from darkness. My heart's sole desire is a world free of sorrow. Join with me now in hope and prayer for the salvation of all.
He's going to summon Zodiark. Or a form of him. Primals need prayer, and his mask is Zodiark, so... Is that how we're doing this?
If you would usher in the end, then with my all shall I oppose you. As
Wait!
the avatar of those mortal
Wait!
heroes who fought unfalteringly in all their imperfection.
Oh!
As the warrior of light incarnate.
Alright! Alright!
Warrior of darkness.
I didn't see this one coming! I was like, okay, we're fighting Zodiark or Litibus or whatever.
What?
But... Wait. What? What is happening? A Zem! With every patch, this game gets hyper and hyper.
Though not of Heidelin's making. What are you?
Not from Heidelin.
No.
Also, this music, man. This music.
You are the enemy, and you will fall. Even should it cost me everything, I will not forsake my duty.
I just want to take this moment to say that I love the Final Fantasy I Warrior of Light design that showed up, I believe, with the PS1 version of the game, or maybe in some of the original art. I'm not sure of its exact origin, though I don't think it was in the game itself. I love that design, man. So this is some cool stuff. The Seed of Sacrifice now accessible. Alright! This song. This is a mixture of... Is that the theme from a Niter mixed with the elements of the Shadowbringers theme? Light and darkness must collide, invoking the ancient magic imbued with the memories of Azem, the forgotten final member of the Convocation of 14. You summon the stars to your side and prepare to face your foe. Okay. Alright. I love this. I love everything to do with this. I love this music. I love this scene. I'm really glad I ended up unspoiled on this. Average wait time of 13 minutes. I don't want to try to learn to tank this on day one. Let's kind of look around here then while we wait. Man, I'm trying to remember what Stormblood's equivalent to this was. Because I know that, like, the battle at the end of Heavensward's, post-game arc was, let's see. Actually, let me try and remember, actually, because let's see. What did we base Heavensward home? Let's see. Yeah, base game ended with Thornton, and then you had Final Steps of Faith as the post-game end, which was phenomenal. Then Stormblood had... I guess it would have been Tsukiyomi. It didn't really feel like the end, though. Stormblood is the one expansion that, I would say feels as if it didn't have a precise end to its story and a precise part where, the new story began. It was perhaps the best ease-in to an expansion that they've had, with a great amount of build-up. I don't think that's going to be the case with, going from Stormblood to whatever's next, just due to the nature of it. With the whole Two Worlds thing, makes it kind of hard to do an ease in, ease out. And I mean, yeah, they did that with easing into this world, but with how they've handled it since then, I mean, the first and the source feel very much like two distinct, different places in the story still, with their own storylines going on. Because this doesn't really affect the source much at all, aside from, obviously, like, the whole bit where, I mean, you know, we're an Ascian, or not necessarily that, but we were a member of the Convocation, that all turned out to be Ascians. But, like, I don't know, man. I'm excited for whatever they've got next, though, don't get me wrong. Especially when they're doing this good. I just have a feeling it's going to be a very abrupt jump into Garlemald, since I'm pretty sure we're heading into Ilsabard in 6.0. The build-up at the end of Stormblood was pretty clear. Let's see. How's our party? Average wait time of 16 minutes. If only I had a healer at 80. If only. As it stands, I've got, Machinist, Red Mage, and Gunbreaker up there, and I don't think Machinist is even high enough item level for much of anything. Yeah, no, 53. Gunbreaker is at 81, though. I should update my Red Mage set. I don't want to stop playing this music, you know? So part of me feels like I should fix this gear up. Can I use one of these to summon a Mender? Just be like, yeah, I'd like an extra little circle, you know, Mender of Light from another world. Just have him fix my gear up. Maybe buy some donuts on the way. Wait time 19 minutes. It keeps going up. Whew. I mean, this is launch day. But then again, I remember Hades took quite a while to get into, even when it was super, like, it was like, you know, still early access for Shadowbringers, and Hades was quite the timeline to get into. Same goes for, honestly, every trial but Titania early on was rough, but I mean, you know, launch day, unless everybody's just running the near raid instead. And I now understand why stuff like Bozja is pushed out, so not everything is, you know, being queued for at the same time. Splits the community in a way. This music is still bopping, though. Come on. Anybody? Anybody? Seat of Sacrifice is what this place is called. I suppose once we hit 7 minutes, I might go fix up gear or something. Man. If I tried to tank this on stream, you would quickly learn how bad I am at tanking, and I'd rather not do that. And you've already learned that there's times where I click on my abilities, and I know that's already a faux pas. Horrible faux pas that I used my mouse, this mouse and keyboard based MMO. And so we take a quick little break from just waiting for our fight, so I can go over here. Event report. That's it? Come on, bud. Come on. Oh, I didn't realize how long that adventure would take. So let's see, is there new stuff on the market board with this patch that I should worry about? Highest item level on the market board is still 480. I'm sure that'll stay the same, but they said there were new recipes out. So if I go down to the glamour items. Southern Seas shirt. That's the new one. Oh, okay. Our break on the shopping network is done. Alright. Man. I'm excited. Man.
For my people, for our world, I will strike you down.
Now that's an intro. So let's see how this goes, huh? Oh! Okay. Just casually does that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's definitely like a damaging or killing barrier around the field. That reminds me of the one used in Eden. So don't get too far away. Noted. I'm assuming that hits in front of it. Oh, no. It's around him. Do we just space out for that? Or... I'm not really sure. Keep moving. I think I get it now. Just keep moving in the direction that he tells you to move in.
Darkness must be destroyed.
Sword of Light, huh? What's this one going to do? I'm scared. Oh, is this the one that takes our health all down? Or... that healer is running out all the way over there. Oh! Okay. Does it just bounce around? Or... Oh! Wait, Bahamut! Okay, so much for that one. I'm assuming they get to have a very fun QTE. Or we're just going to wipe. I love how I'm just... Oh. What happens now? Oh! Do I get to do the QTE after all? Here where we... Oh! This is where we fought Nabriales. Please. I'm power clicking here. And I'll still be dead when I get out of this. Betting money on it. Odd mechanic? Wait. Oh. Just casually banishes us, and... we summon ourselves back! What?
You! It cannot be!
How does this work in an 8-man raid? Yo!
To me, warriors of light!
Alright.
I am salvation given form. Mankind's first hero and his final hope.
Oh man.
For victory, I render up my all.
Well, I'm back alive, so I'll take it.
Lives will be ours.
Oh, he's got a limit break with 4 bars. Do we have another QTE? What was that? What was any of that? It's super cool, but what happened?
This battle shall be ours.
True Walking Dead. Oh, pause. I think it's pause. Yeah, if I don't move. There we go. Okay, so that's that mechanic. We got that down. I get it now. Now to just find out what to do when he does his 4-bar limit break. When he imbues his blade with fire, I guess that's just melee around.
Darkness must be destroyed. Fight my power!
Whatever. Getting this out. And then Bahamut's over there. Alright, well now I'm alive for this part. Love that machinist's robot just over there not knowing what to do. Now to do this again. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. I feel like this is weighted to make it go down faster when it's higher up, because it feels like it's way easier to keep up when it's down low. Well, that's that mechanic down again. This is the one issue with a super cinematic fight, I think, that having to go through all these cinematics again every time. Ouch. I felt like Tsukiyomi was like the perfect balance of it. This is super cool though. I'm just probably not going to do this fight again of my own will anytime soon. Just because of all the probably because mostly of all the cutscenes.
It cannot be.
Though I will run it with friends, I mean. But like, I don't know. We'll see though. I still love that hand wave at the end. That's a power move. Let's be real.
To me, warriors of light.
So how do we do this mechanic?
I am salvation given for mankind's first hero and his final hope.
I love that shot.
For victory, I render up my all.
Okay.
Your demise will be ours. Salvation.
So is it Tank LB that's supposed to stop this? Oh, well, it worked. Oh, shit. Let's res them. Let's res him. You're welcome, everybody. Let's res the other red mage. Let's cast Lucid Dreaming. You're welcome. I know this mechanic. Is one of these going to call down an ethereal pair? I hope not. I still have nightmares of that thing.
Darkness must be destroyed.
Oh no. I love how my attack went through after dying. Thanks, Final Sparky, for my Hyperion. Oh. No, don't do that to me. final Sparky coming in clutch, earning that player commendation. Transcending his limits. Oh no. So I'm gonna get over here.
Grant me strength.
This is stressful. Please stop transcending your limits. Please, oh, please stop transcending your limits.
Gleaming steel, like my path.
Oh, do not want to get hit by that. Oh, I see. Stop moving. Imbued absolute fire 3. No, thank you, brother. I hope we don't have to do the tank limit break timing again. I'm glad the tanks finally have a chance to use their limit break. But I really don't like that mechanic. There's no Bahamut to worry about, is there? No. I felt like... Sure, Cap. Of course, 4 Bahamuts. Sure. And they're all gonna start casting Akmorn. Oh, I get it. It's the Spectral Summoner calling that in, as opposed to... Oh, yeah, I see. Dragon Dive, huh? I really love the idea, though, that the original Warrior of Light from FF1 has, like, all these different takes on abilities, limit breaks from later on in the other games and jobs and series. Let's see. Trying to fully understand what this move does. Is it just like a flat AoE around him? Oh no, he's not doing that whole summoning thing again now, is he? Yeah, he is. Twin cast. I don't like this. Oh, theirs is the meteors. Okay. Hey, we're getting him down pretty much. I hope no one tries to limit break, given that I feel like it's going to end horribly for us if we do. Okay, so they're not doing the thing where he limit breaks again. Good. Alright, let's get him. Let's finish this expansion up. Let's get him.
No, I cannot fail.
Let's hide that.
I will not.
Oh, is it just that in fight? Okay. Player comm. Final Sparky. You earned it, buddy. I'm gonna wave to him. He's earned it. There's some men out there who have earned a wave. What is your hat? Oh, that's from Lakeland, I think. Player comm. You're welcome. So let's see how this ends up.
Fool! You have achieved nothing. I am immortal, yet I will never surrender.
And now his trap card.
So fixated were you on my memories of the future, you failed to heed the lessons of the past. Your obsession blinded you to the true nature of this tower. This beacon of hope for mankind.
Yo!
Created to serve as a reservoir for the limitless energy of the heavens. To harness and bind the boundless. Not unlike
Oh!
sight. Your ill-begotten power, obtained by exploiting that which is best in us. I shall have it. Your soul and all!
Oh, this is hype! Get him! I'm so glad this team has a budget now. It gets hyper with every second, okay? This is the good stuff. Later, buddy. Pal. Friendo. We were never friends. Now there's a good shot. So that's that expansion over. Oh. Oh. And. Interesting. Is this all that's left?
This... Yes. I would become him. I would save everyone. This, I believed. Yet still they cried out in rage and despair. Divided over the fate of the star. A rare occurrence, always fleeting. But not this time. Not this time. Reconciliation. Elizabeth. I was needed. I withdrew myself from Zodiark for them. My people. My brothers. My friends. Stay strong. Keep the faith. At duty's end, we will meet again. We will. We will.
Oh, man.
The rains have ceased, and we have been graced with another beautiful day. But you are not here to see it.
And that's the last real Ascian known.
I concede I may have overexerted myself. Steady now and listen. I told you before that I had a plan, and that when all is said and done, I would ask a favor of you. We have averted the 8th Umbral Calamity, found a way for everyone to return to the source, and last but not least, we have secured the future of all the people of Norvrand. We have won, my friend. So, I hope you'll forgive me this moment of selfishness, and while I wouldn't want you to feel obliged, promise me you'll take me on your next adventure. A journey. Together. That's all I ask.
Oh, man. It's time to be solemn, I think.
If I were to tell you that this isn't the end, that we will meet again, would you believe me? Thank you.
Oh. Oh, here it comes. It's time for this version of him to say goodbye, I think.
My friend, with you, my mind and memories shall travel to the ends of the world and beyond. But in this place shall my body stand immovable. May it serve as an undying promise, not only to those who look to me for leadership, but to any soul who has known despair, that hope is everlasting.
Is he gonna take the throne, or is he just gonna freeze right there? he goes. Kinda saw it coming. This was a good one.
There, the Exarch would remain, keeping his silent vigil. When the Scions were not released from his summoning spell, we proceeded with the plan to return them to the source. The Warrior of Darkness, however, retained his ability to traverse the two worlds at will. And in time, the Crystal Tower became a symbol of his link to the First, and of hope.
You know, for a while I really wondered if I would, after all was said and done, prefer Heaven's Word or this, because the final steps of faith were an emotional roller coaster with an incredible ending. I can calmly say my expectations were exceeded. Kinda love this. I feel like I should speak to everybody before the end. Even if my frame rate's dropping. Alright. So, I'm assuming nothing unsaid. Maybe we still have one more after this. You're gonna need to go to the ocular, or... It changed nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, excuse me. Oh, and again. This goes back to my discussion with Dylan earlier about sneezing. Ugh. Bookends, friends. Bookends. We remember him as he lived. As Space Hitler. He thought he was doing the right thing. But Space Hitler was ultimately Space Hitler. I get what they're doing, though. I get it. I'm still not entirely sold on, peace, love, and happiness can ignore the fact that you killed millions, but, you know. Kind of surprised this scene isn't voiced, honestly. Now, who could this be? Oh! Hey, you lived! Good! We kinda need you. Yeah, about that. He's kinda in this crystal. Don't worry about it. Oh boy. Again, I am surprised this is not voiced. So are they not doing this in this patch? I feel like this would be the best possible patch to use to send the Scions back to the source, but I mean, if you just want to leave them here for a moment. That is a lot of people. A lot of people. Oh yeah, Halric. You know what? It's a good reason to hop back. Off to the inn. The inn at Journey's Head. What an expansion, honestly. I'm still just kind of marveling at it. Oh good, we got Trey back on. Nice. That person's wearing the Fending Crystarium gear. I probably should try to get that sometime. Got 57 of those tomes already today. Alright, Rodriguez, let's roll. You know, I suppose I should have expected them leaving the Scions in here for one more patch, because, like, now they're able to, still have Urianger and Thancred in, the next round of the Eden raids. So I guess I get it. Or maybe I could be entirely wrong, and they could just, you know, leave in the last quest here. Because I think there's still one after this. This isn't the name of the patch. I feel like Reflections in Crystal would be like, you know, the final quest, as is tradition. I wonder, does he look more normal here? Oh, you're gonna end this with calling back to Tesleen. Okay. Sure. Make it hurt like that. It isn't time to say our farewells quite yet. Yeah, they're not leaving in this patch. You know, if we're staying around on this shard for a little while longer, could we please have the opportunity to see Hildebrand here? Or alternate Hildebrand? Just once. I feel like that'd be good. If anybody's crying, it's definitely Alphino, and definitely not me. I would never cry, because crying is for wimps. Like Alphino, who isn't me. We share no similarities, aside from our entire model in Realm Reborn. But don't worry about that. Well...
Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes.
The thought of never seeing you again is
The Chais really were
heart could
unexpectedly good.
Oh, it's you. As you can see, Alphino has broken the news.
Is this the first time I've heard him voiced? If not, I think it's the first time in a long time. Unless he was voiced earlier in the patch and I just forgot it because
She thinks we'll
I
be
was
lost
half
without
asleep.
him.
Come on, Alphino. Get the brushes.
You'll never let me forget it, will you? I'll have you know I completed the promised painting in the end. Be that as it may, there are times only words will suffice. Lady Chai, I have a confession to make. On the day we ousted Lord Vorthree, when I revealed the truth of his tyranny and your complicity in his crimes, I did so with great trepidation. Not out of fear that you wouldn't listen, but that you might never recover. There was a time when I too, in my hubris, believed myself worthy to lord it over others. And when the lie was laid bare, when I was forced to confront the cost, the lives lost, it all but destroyed me. To awaken from a naive dream to so harsh a reality, I would have understood had you all surrendered to despair. But you didn't surrender. Far from it. You picked yourselves up and rose to the challenge. You found a path forward and the strength to walk it, and to keep walking it, day after day.
Oh.
Though what struck me is how much faster you found it than I did.
Really? That felt pretty slow to me. But rest assured, we'll make Yulmore into a nation anyone would be proud to call home. Eventually. You can still come and go as you please, I believe. When we have good tidings to report, I may trouble you to be their bearer. There may also be less than good tidings, in which event I hope I can trouble you for your counsel.
I should be honored to provide it, Master Chai.
Oh, Alphino. I know you aren't one to sit still, but do remember to take your ease from time to time.
I love these characters. They were the surprise for
matter
me with
where
this
you are,
expansion.
Remember that there are people here who are praying for your health and happiness.
Aw. It's like they're literal rich fat cats. And I went in with the lowest
Brave and gentle
expectations.
artist. You have our love.
But they're great.
Now
They're
and
great.
always.
Some of the most human characters in the entire expansion, I think. Which is saying something. I think it's very
And
well
do you
written.
mind?
Even if I
Please
don't
take
always
care.
agree with some of its themes. Man. Good video game. Oh, they're having a discussion in the Free Company chat. Hmm. And the journey continues. Maybe it doesn't end on a quest named Reflection in Crystal. to see Urianger. I could go to Lita Laran, where it's very crowded, or I could go to Wohlikdorf and visit my favorite birds for the last time. Rodriguez took offense to that. Great offense. But that's okay. Because I have yet another bird. My favorite. King. Hail to the king, baby. Love this guy. The greatest. I wonder how the Fellowship Finder's doing. As I just kind of text and drive here. For the love of Thancred, do you love Thancred as much as I do? Animal Crossing. Cat Boys Club. Llama Drama. Whoop. Oh, the Fae are begging him to stay, of course. Oh, Erdbert's crystal. Back to Wohlikdorf. This really is one of the prettiest areas in the game. Like, obviously, it's alternate Kurthus, based off of a good chunk of 1.0 Kurthus. And Kurthus, even after all the snow, is exceptionally beautiful. One of the best looking areas in Realm Reborn. Actually, the best looking area in Realm Reborn. And still holds up to this day, I feel. So, off we journey. I don't even need the quest markers, I don't think. I just need to see where there's crowds of people. Seto's really cool. And there it sits.
Is that Ardbert's crystal?
Oh, wow, I'm surprised to see him voiced again.
So it is. It has changed, but I would know it anywhere. However, did you come by it?
Maybe let's spare him the details. Just be like, an old friend gave it to me. Ignore the whole bit about Seto's best friend's corpse being reanimated, possessed by Space Hitler 2, and then being consumed in fire to summon a primal.
Then, even in death, his enemies found a way to profit from his sacrifice. Oh,
See, this is why you leave the bad details out.
Body being used for evil ends.
He didn't have to know.
Thanks to you, his honor is restored, and he may finally find peace. No words can express my gratitude. I will keep this crystal safe to the end of my days. Rest easy, my friend. You have earned it.
I'm curious.
Your soul? How can this be?
I am, for the record, not crying.
Seto, my old friend. You've grown.
Just sweating through my eyes.
Artbert, how I've missed you. I'm sorry I couldn't keep you safe, or even console you. Had I only learned to speak sooner, I would have told you how much you meant to me, how much I cared.
Oh.
I knew. I always knew. But I'm happy to hear it nonetheless. Thank you, Seto. My partner in crime.
I see. His journey continues. Then I will not yet bid him rest. With you, he may look forward to many more adventures. It has been a while since last I flew. Perhaps I too will go on a little adventure. Ride the winds, seek the horizon. Yes, I think perhaps I will.
That's pretty good. And now we still have to go visit, oh, back to Urian J. I appreciate that Urian J's brand new Waking Sands equivalent in this dimension also does not have an aetheryte by it. But yeah, pretty great. Pretty great. I would assume that quest after this is that going to be the finale? I don't know. I'm not used to these lasting so long after final boss, really. Base Shadowbringers just kind of like went and ended, you know? It's like Hades is gone. Have fun. That really great ending sequence. Was not prepared for this much, I guess. Farmer's breakfast, sure. On to the morrow with a Oh! Oh, right! At the end of every expansion quest line, you get a set of clothes. I wonder what this could be. So this is the final one, I think. Gotta visit Stola. Then, oh, right by the Aetherite. Thank you. And then after that, off to Thancred and Reen as we grieve for Minfilia one last time. I'm excited. I completely forgot about the expansion clothes. I'm curious to see what they look like. Have you come to spy on me? Got an interesting view over there, little guy.
Master Matoya. For too long, I have remained silent, but no longer. I could not bear it if you were to leave. Please, stay. I beg of you.
Sorry, champ. A swing and a miss.
Runar, please.
She will kind of actually die if she sticks around too long.
I jest. At least in part.
Mm-hmm.
What I came to say is this.
Just a joke. Just a jape. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Without your wisdom, your strength, and your kindness to guide us, our people would still be lost. We will never forget you, Master Matoya. Wherever your journeys may take you, you will always be in our hearts.
And you in mine. Remember that your people's journey, that our people's journey is yet ongoing. Your lives will change, and so too will your dreams. Yet come what may, you need not forsake your time-honored traditions, nor less your beliefs. But neither should you be beholden to them, for it is with curiosity and
Oh. Button, but
indeed
oh
they
well.
are. And so, until we return to the Sunless Sea, we shall endeavor to live our lives to the fullest.
But with new knowledge and new wisdom are ever worthy of pursuit. Okay.
That is well. But however great your strides, there may yet come a day when the challenges you face cannot be surmounted alone. On such a day...
On such a day.
I don't like this. gazes into
You
the
may call on me.
endless darkness of space. Hears it scream, and it's like, don't worry about it. Can't help being a Gemini.
Since a means to travel between worlds exists, you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. And there remain so many mysteries here that want for solving.
Master Matoya!
Runha, really?
Something about the glasses adds something to these scenes with my character. I suppose we talk to Thancred and Reen, cry a little bit, and then go back to the source, I think. They said this would be at the end of the Shadowbringer storyline, so like I really do want to see the whole you know, Exarch brought back to the Crystal Tower thing wrapped up. I don't want to have to wait 3 months, but I'm probably going to. I'm just kind of happy I went through Realm Reborn, Heavensward, and Stormblood after all the patches were out. I finished Stormblood before Shadowbringers, but it was with like I want to say like a month and a half to go. So like the final patches were already out and stuff. I forget if Blue Mage was already out or not. I want to say it was. I nearly forgot about the guy that just like loves trolleys. That's his character. He's the trolleyman. The future of trolleys. Reach for the stars with a trolley. I like this guy. Trolley team. Seem to have a habit of crashing things. What can I say, man? Maybe we will see them all go back in this patch. Yeah, I guess they will. I'm hoping. Please. Wrap it up. Not like immediately, but like, I want to see the end before 3 months from now, you know? You've hit me with too much here, game. Back to the Crystarium. I'm going to ball. I guess they are actually leaving. Oh. I mean, I can still come back. They've got... Yep. Yep. The cynic in me is defeated. It's time.
That's everyone then. We've all said what we needed to.
Even as we speak, Backlug undertaketh their final inspection of our spirit vessels. When thine own preparations for the journey are complete, thou art to present thyself in the ocular.
Everyone? I want to thank you all, on behalf of the First. You, and Minfilia, and the Exarch. Without each and every one of you guiding us, fighting for us, we wouldn't be standing here now. There wouldn't even be a here. And no words can express our gratitude. We still have a lot to do. Countless trials to overcome. But if it ever seems too much, I'll think of our time together. The happy moments, and the sad. I will remember it all. And it will give me the strength to carry on without you.
I am not crying. I promise. I'm feeling no emotions.
Because you made me who I am. Minfilia. Reen.
I am a liar.
To honor these names and these memories, I will stand with all the people of this land and strive for a better tomorrow.
Thancred, I believe the honor of responding should rightfully be thine.
I know better than most how much you've grown, and I have every confidence you'll make your people proud.
No.
Gods know I'm proud of you. I always will be. You deserve all the happiness in the world, and more.
Might we also say a few words?
Why, this is just about all of you.
To see you off seemed the least we could do. You risked your all for us, fought for a realm not your own. Before you came, we had never known the beauty of the night sky. Or the joy of your company. Though it saddens us deeply to bid you farewell, it has ever been our way to send off friends with a smile. Wherever your road should lead, we shall pray for your safety. And following your brave example, we shall continue to fight for the Crystarium.
With or without us, you've always taken good care of this city. I don't doubt for a moment you'll continue to do so.
Aye. A more resilient people we have never known.
Man, this has been a really good expansion. I keep saying it. I know.
As resilient and enduring as the tower that watches over you.
But this is great.
To the last, we did not question the Exarch about his past. It is only now, when he can no longer tell us, that we believe we know the answer. We have heard what became of him, and what is about to be attempted. All will be well. Of this we are certain. How could it be otherwise, when every soul in the Crystarium is praying for it with all their heart? And so, when our Lord awakens, I bid you give him a message. Tell him he needn't worry about us. That he need no longer hide who he truly is. That he should live his own life to the fullest. And that if he should ever find himself reminiscing on the past with a smile, we shall be smiling with him. Will you tell him this?
Gotta give that stoic nod. Oh.
Thank you. Please look after him for us.
I dare say we have all the good wishes we can carry. Let us be on our way.
And here we go. Wild to think we've come this far from Realm Reborn. Reward. Oh, it's not a gear set. Wind up Mistel, modeled upon no one in particular. No, really. Next main scenario quest. Literally right next to me, just hasn't loaded in. I am, however. I guess that's right. I guess the gear set, Call the Leader 1. Does that come with anything at the, It does. Title, Mammotheer. Neat. Reflections in crystal, there it is. Alright, Mr. Gatekeeper, let's go. Shout out to Bilbo Baggins, by the way. I know that's unrelated, but I appreciate him and all that he stands for. Getting the gang back together again. Thancred, you've just given a child a loaded weapon. Thancred? I guess he's right, he can't take it with him. But you gave a child a loaded weapon. And off we go. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Might as well. I'm glad. I was a little concerned for a while there that this might, you know, go by too quick. It certainly hasn't. This has been a very good-sized patch.
All right, then. Pray proceed as instructed, beginning
Also,
with your memories.
Let's do auto advance. Means I can't mess up and accidentally do it again. I feel as if I want to pay attention to these.
The first step is complete, and all appeareth to be in order.
Well, that just leaves our souls, then. We're in your hands, Angelo.
Get that one. Warning, fragile.
It is done! The vessels have received of both their memories and their souls. I hereby entrust them to your care. They belong to you now. Just be sure to guard them well, yes?
This will work, won't it?
Our theories have held thus far. But I make no promises about what's to come. Even the greatest mages in history knew better than to transport a soul across the rift. We, my dear, are in unknown territory.
It'll be fine.
Prepare as we might, we cannot account for all possibilities. And it is in such circumstances that accidents are wont to occur.
It'll be
Yet
fine.
miracles do happen. So let us pray and will our friends home.
I won't stop praying until I know they're safe.
All safely stowed away? I do hope so. All that remains then is to step into the mirror. Go now, and safe travels.
Now, what interests me is I wonder if they'll return to their Heavensward costumes after this, or if we're going to see new designs. I feel like we're probably just going to see them in those basic outfits until the next patch, but I wonder, man. I've been wrong multiple times over the course of this very live stream, so I'm ready to be surprised.
Did it? Are we?
Well.
Oh, you're back. You're back. You're all back.
Thank you. My body feels like a sack of potatoes, but otherwise, I've never felt better. That said, I doubt any of us will be fit to travel for some while. Maybe leave the rest to you.
The vessel beareth our comrade's blood. With it in thy possession, the way will surely open before thee.
Let's go. This patch does not end, and I'm very happy.
What? But you've only just got here.
Tataru, might I trouble you to brew us all a pot of your special tea? Ah, and we may require an extra cup.
Of course they're not letting me explore the inside of the tower on
Yours
my
is a
own.
long road, my friend, and it stretches onto places beyond imagining. With your every step, these grand adventures shall grow more distant and faint. And there may come a day when you forget the faces and voices of those you have met along the way. On that day, I bid you remember this. That no matter how far your journey may take you, you stand where you stand by virtue of the road you walked to get there. For in times of hardship, when you fear you cannot go on, the joy you have known, the pain you have felt, the prayers you have whispered and answered, they shall ever be your strength.
Oh, crap. Slight little audio issue there.
This I hope. I believe.
1 second. 1 second. Audio issue.
What is it, Alize? Are you all right? Do you still feel under the weather?
Physically, I couldn't be better. Thanks to Kryle's ministrations, I'm already looking forward to our next fight. But seriously, don't you have anything to say about that?
No less impressive than our garments. You've outdone yourself, Tataru.
Give credit where it's due. I had help from a certain fiery pixie who visited me in my dreams. They gave me all the information I needed to get the details just right. For your weapons, though, I needed a lot more help. Thankfully, our favorite heads of state were happy to place their finest craftsmen at my exclusive disposal. Oh, and speaking of the Alliance leaders, they all expressed their unreserved elation at your safe return, and promise to come and see you in person as soon as they can.
They really needn't have gone to such trouble. But we'll be keeping these gifts all the same. Do pass on our gratitude.
I realise we haven't taken up new martial arts, nor have I ever been one to set much store by appearances. But I can't help feeling a certain lack of, I don't know, personal development.
I quite understand. But as you observed, the others had the more pressing need. Rest assured, our turn will come.
If I expend any more ether, I swear I will blink out of existence. I need a bite to eat. Tataru, a cup of tea, if you would be so kind. And something sweet.
By Mistress Kryle's exhausted state, may I assume that the ward hath been restored?
Indeed. We succeeded in weaving it anew, albeit at a slightly diminished potency than when I had Becklug's assistance. It is no cause for concern, though. The tower is not easily reached, never mind breached. And even should some few succeed, their presence won't escape my notice.
Excellent. Said duty thus discharged, thou art free to go wheresoever thy fancy taketh thee. Upon which note, hast thou perchance come to a decision? The offer remaineth open.
Well, if you're certain that's what you... I mean, if you think
There's an opportunity to fix my audio, because the game cuts out every time I alt-tab. I'm happy. I'm happy. The boy's back. Everybody's back. Also, that's a really cool gear set.
Right. I accept.
I forget, did he have the tattoo
I shall count
originally
myself
on
a
his
scion
neck?
of the seventh dawn. Grahatia, at your service.
Oh, man. Also,
When I
that
was a
staff
boy,
is new.
Many long years ago, I yearned to stand tall as the heroes of Eld. But, like a fool, seeking to pluck the stars from the heavens, my every attempt to reprise their deeds fell short.
Help! Somebody help!
Oh?
Hippogriffs! Hippogriffs on the rampage! A giant flock of them! Please, we need help!
I could do with a little rampage myself.
What? Now wait, just a... Here we go again.
I will join the fray when I've finished my tea.
Thus did the Avatar of Destruction descend, and in her wake leave naught but tears and ash.
And then, one day, an all but forgotten dream from my youth stood before me, in the flesh.
Man. I'm happy. Oh. Caught that a little too late as it started to fade. Oh well. Now, what hook do you leave us for the future? How did I know it involved Xenos?
So it was that a new adventure began.
Or... Wait. Oh, that's him. Yeah. It was a little hard to tell with the angle there.
The memory of a dying world's end. Night after night. And I thought it but a tired old dream.
Who are you?
I say. I knew that securing the palace would provide your radiance with depressingly little sport, but that you should fall asleep out of boredom.
I'm trying to remember who this guy is.
Splendid. Truly splendid. And my own preparations, you will be pleased to hear, proceed apace.
He's not an Asian.
Oh, yes.
I don't
They
think.
proceed very well indeed.
But he acts like one.
Frighteningly so. And we owe it not least of all to this singularly useful body I chanced to find.
Wait.
With the Populares now all but destroyed, it will be the simplest of tasks to discredit their groundless assertions that I met with a grisly end.
Are they really bringing him back?
And as the very much alive Lord of House Brutus, I have a vast fortune at my
House
disposal.
Brutus was...
Ah, money, 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 the great
Alright,
motivator.
with an attitude like this...
No better way to move men and expedite plans than with its alluring glint. Would you not agree?
Are they really bringing back Emmett Selk? They brought back Xenos. Please don't bring back Emmett Selk. Please let character die.
Were we not acquainted, you and I?
Wait. Asashi? Or Ahashi? Whatever his name
Should our
was?
familiarity cause you distress?
From
I
Stormblood.
beg your forgiveness.
That guy. Why?
What
No.
did you say?
He
your
was
name
killed by Tsukiyomi. So...
Oh, a dagger through
A-
my heart.
a
that my
corpse
deepest
stealing
desire
Asian.
should forever remain unfulfilled. To live
And
unrecognized. To
definitely
die
Emmett Selk again.
So it goes. Whatever this flesh may have been before, it serves only as a vessel now. And I, faithful Fandaniel, labor only
Daniel.
to advance
Okay.
my Lord's
Alright.
ambitions.
Alright. Okay. With the attitude he had, I was expecting Emet-Selch again, but...
With the palace in our hand,
I should probably stop
we may
speaking.
now proceed with the next
Every time I
phase of
speak
the plan.
and get cynical, I get proven wrong. So you know what?
But how very odd. Despite all our havoc wreaking, old Elidibus did not deign to appear. Dare I hope that the last of the unsundered
Oh, I see.
is gone?
So he's one of the less Saracens. Interesting.
Bound no more by the shackles of mouldering memories of damnable duty, free at last to live for the moment. Your radiance, but give the word, and I shall go forth and prepare for you your hunting ground.
That which awaited was a fell beast. Ferocious, ravenous, remorseless. Do as you will. It has been too long, my friend, and insufferably dull in your absence. When you return to me, you will share everything. Every blow will be a story unto itself. Every triumph, every kill. Rest assured, we shall have a fitting stage for our reunion.
I'm interested.
Yes. To reprise that transcendent moment, I will set this world ablaze. We shall dance before the pyre. The beast shall kindle the flames of the apocalypse. Into its domain shall the hero set forth for the final chapter in the tale of this star.
Oh boy. You know, I really hope... I feel like it's probably going to end up at the Mog Station. But I would really hope that, given that I was wrong and did declare that expansion and armor set too early, but... I don't know, if the expansion and armor set for Shadowbringers is this, I mean, I'm happy. Now to my regrettably less than humble beginnings. This casting spells always so draining. Now available as a trust companion. Cool. There we go. Hope's Legacy, and that earns us Shepherd to the Stars. I like big fish, and I cannot lie. Huh, I need to get that achievement. Let's see, profile. I've not updated my title in quite a while. Shepherd to the Stars. I like that one. And that, ladies and gents, is Shadowbringers. I would continue the stream and do a few more things. I won't talk to Graha one last time. Restoring the 8th one. Okay. But I'm afraid I do have to call it here. Lass had to... I'm sorry about some of the audio issues, though I did have to cut things out due to some personal things going on. And because of those things, I'm going to be off, but y'all have a good one.